All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Director's Table. I am here with the legendary Jeff Richburg. Hello, Jeff. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Just normal. What is it? Thursday. Today's Thursday.
Thursday. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Almost through the week.
Almost. We're very close. Almost All Hallows Eve, too. So that's good.
That's right.
Excellent. So we'll go ahead and kick on off. So let us know what state you're out of and which club do you currently represent?
All right. We're out of Mississippi. I represent and run Central Mississippi Cornhole. We're in the Jackson area, which is Central Mississippi, I guess. So we've been doing this for about 7 years. Started in 2018. My son and I went to a benefit tournament, and that was my first time ever playing cornhole, and been hooked ever since.
That's pretty good. Now, did you win that benefit tournament?
Actually, I think we finished fourth, so it was not a bad showing. It was not bad at all.
Pretty good. That's pretty darn good.
We were very happy.
Oh man, that is awesome. Now, from going to that benefit or the tournament, at what point did you kind of start investigating, deciding to start running tournaments, and what sort of led you to the ACL to be that platform for you?
It was at that tournament. I said, "This is neat," and we had nothing around us. So I started looking into it. That was in July, and I became a regional director in November.
Oh, wow.
18. So it was quick.
That's super quick. Now, with becoming a director and running tournaments, because you've ran them for so many years, do you have, a favorite memory or maybe a top 3 memory running events?
Just from running events, we always remember our first one. We didn't know if we would have 10 people show up, and we had 40 players show up, and we had just started our group. So it was really fun. Everybody was energetic. And then probably our conference events that we used to run for the Southeast Conference. My wife and I run all of our events together. And when we had 400 players show up, I remember getting a phone call from Todd because he was messaging me and he couldn't get a hold of me. He just wanted to make sure that we were okay. So that was our first year of running conference events. So that I will never forget that. So that was a very exciting time.
That's super exciting. And even just, I can only imagine, I'm picturing Todd right now panicking, like, yes. Why is Jeff not responding? Is he okay?
I can only imagine what was going through his mind. He had 400 people there, and he could probably see the numbers, and he just wanted to make sure that we were okay.
Oh, my goodness. But a great event, so that's always a super positive. Yes. That's really, really good. Now, throughout, the seasons and things like that, you've definitely done some really, really good growth also, within the state, not even just, player base, director base as well. Now, do you have advice that you like to give to directors as they're just starting out as their directorship?
Yes. Take it slow. Don't panic. Don't rush. I tell people all the time, if your numbers are up, that doesn't mean you have to play at a second or third night of the week. Let your numbers stay there. If the players want to play more often, they will find a place to play. I feel in my advice is I think if people play 2 and 3 times a week, it takes away from their home life. So if your family is going to fall apart, then your cornhole life is going to fall apart as well. So family comes first. So I try to tell them to stick with 1 night a week and, grow it from 20, 30 players to 60 or 70 players in a night. I've given several directors that advice.
That's great advice. And especially with, burnout, you hear a lot of it on, player burnout. They play a lot, they get burned out. Directors too. I agree.
Correct.
For sure with that.
Well, it's burning you out. It's burning the director out, but it's also burning the players out. I mean, they'll go hard at it for a year, year and a half, 2 years, and then all of a sudden they just won't show up anymore. They're done. And it's because they're either burnt out and or their home life has gone south and they got to get that straightened out. So I like to do one night a week. Every once in a while, we'll do 2 nights during the week, but it's not very common.
Yeah, that's good advice, and it definitely helps, especially with lots of areas. And like you said, there's other locations and places, and I think that helps a lot with being collaborative too with other groups. Out here it's similar. In Arizona, we have a couple of really good groups in the south or southern Arizona, and we all pick a night. We all typically stick to it. Sometimes we'll flotate over here and there, but it helps. It helps so much, and just having different places to go to, so you're not getting burnt out on the same food. Sometimes I've heard that a lot. They're like, I can only eat here so many times.
That's right. That's correct. So that's my advice. There's like I said, those are 2 good reasons. There's probably a couple of more I'm not thinking of, but I like the one night a week stuff. And if the players want to keep throwing, they'll find a backyard to throw in, or they'll find another group. Within an hour, there's always somebody within an hour throwing of most people. So if the players want to play more, they'll find a place to play.
Yep. No, definitely. I agree there. Now with, running the tournaments that you've ran, very large tournaments, when there were conferences, you ran conferences, state events, now interstate events sort of looped in. So tons of those. And I know that sponsors are typically important for most directors. Do you have anyone that, you work with a lot that really gives support?
I've had several that's been with me for a few years. Mid-State Tree Service, Cook Tractor Supply. Most of the time, sponsors come from within our group. I don't go out and search for sponsorships. It comes from the players in our group that maybe own companies or work for a company. So that's me. I don't go out, I guess, asking for money is the word I should probably use. I do this for a hobby. It's not a living. So I like to keep it that way.
Yeah, that's great. So, and I like how
the sponsorships do help. Let me say the sponsorships do help, whether it be board sponsorships, whether it be a $500 little sponsor or $600 sponsor, or even a $1,500 sponsor, anything helps. That way we can buy new equipment. And that's what we've tried to, I guess, keep that mentality. Instead of just going out and asking for money from people.
Yeah, definitely. And even the way that you've sort of described it as well, as a lot of it comes internally from, your player base as well. And what's so neat about that is it also shows that even with Cornhole, it's almost like a giant networking group, because there's tons of people I don't think you wouldn't have ever met had it not been for, Cornhole. And I'm sure that goes the same with players and business owners and things like that. So sometimes, like you said, they might just come up and say, hey, you know what, I want my logo or something slapped on a board. What will it take to do that? So I think that kind of stuff is very beneficial.
Yes, I've used that. I'm glad you said that. And the networking part of this group, with me running my businesses or whatnot, I've probably used 20 to 30 of these guys doing some type of work for me or with me. And I can honestly say 100% of my sponsors have received something back from the return that they sponsored me with. So I'm proud to say that. that they got something back from me. They may not have got the complete, $500 back, but they were able to get something from me. Most of them have got more than their return back. So that's a big part of how I do my businesses.
Yep, and that's perfect. And I love how you talk about the investment and the return and things like that. And I think lots of clubs and groups really pour their hearts and souls into running tournaments and giving back to players and your own local community and things like that. Now, is there anything as the state director that you really offer or do for your players, either as incentives, recognition, or anything like that throughout the season or at the end of the season?
There's things that I do that's not advertised, but I guess the biggest portion of it is probably we do a top 12 jerseys, and those are free. And then we do we also have a top 30 jersey. Mississippi is we're probably 39th or 40th in population across the country. So we're a smaller state, so we don't have as many players. So we do offer the top 30 jersey as well. I know other states may do a top 50 or a top 100, but in my opinion, we just don't have those players. And I like for something to be earned when we give these jerseys away instead of just giving players things that they have not earned.
Very good. Yeah. And I think that's great having, an incentive program. And I love that you also talked about it being based off of population. And, you see so many different directors doing all these different things. And I think one thing that people and even players maybe don't realize is that a lot of it is based on player participation, population of maybe their region, their area, or even their state. I mean, you have, states that are crazy big and, they could do a lot just because of the, the sheer numbers and population. But I think that's, incredible. And you've definitely done a lot. You've created a lot of really good resources as well for directors. And you're definitely someone who I definitely know picks up the phone when someone's in need. So that's always a good testament to everything that you do as a leader, especially in your state.
Yeah. I've always tried to be a leader, I guess, throughout life. So, and I still have multiple directors from several states that will reach out when they have questions or concerns or just want to talk. Maybe they're getting burnt out. I talked to one last week that was just, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And I've gone over, that one night a week. You're pushing yourself doing 2 and 3 nights a week. So I think that's, that comes with, I guess, my mentality and how I grew up.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful too. And even being able to have those conversations, be super candid with each other. And that's one thing that I truly, really appreciate and love about just the entire director sort of, group. We have a pretty good number of directors within our, funnel that we have. And what's so good is you can reach out to anyone, you can ask a question and you'll receive multiple responses, or, hey, what do I use for my tablets? Or why isn't this working? Or why isn't that? And I mean, you come up with the coolest ideas from across the country that no one would have ever thought about. And it's just such a great network and everyone is so helpful. And, your name's definitely one that consistently comes up as someone who's always at least responding or trying to give some type of response. And I think that's really, really good. So any directors who are listening, message Jeff first. Just kidding. No, but Jeff is here.
We get enough messages already.
But
so
no, you just
I don't mind helping. If people have questions, they're welcome to reach out. I don't mind. Now, if you ask my opinion, perfect. Sometimes you may not like my opinion. But if you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Yeah, there you go.
It could be right or it could be wrong, but that's just an opinion.
Yeah, but starts a conversation, and that's the most
right.
important thing, is being able to just accept it, have the conversation, and you never know. I'll tell people, you might say something, I might have something, and I might go in thinking I'm 100% right, and then I'll come out of it like, okay, nope, was wrong, totally
No,
wrong.
that's
it
right.
happens.
You can always learn.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
Every day you can go through life. I want to learn something new every day, and I'm okay with that.
100%. Yep. And if you're not learning, you're not growing. So
that's right. That's right.
That's
there's always something we can learn.
Yes, 100%. And it's so good though to be able to have so many people who have just been running tournaments for many years, and thinking back to being a brand new director and just seeing the resources and everything that we have now compared to
gosh.
Years ago. It's crazy.
Yes. I remember those days. I remember one of our first ones. The software, I don't know. There was whether it was user error or ACL error, I don't know. But I had 40 players in intermediate singles and like 39 in competitive singles, and we couldn't do anything. So we had to do a paper bracket it was a nightmare. I pulled myself out of singles and I sat there and did everything by hand. I'll never forget that moment. So
always a backup plan.
That's right.
My goodness. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm thinking back to even, oh my gosh, I went, running fundraisers super early on. And I remember attending my very first one, and there was this massive paper, and it was like the craziest thing. And I walked up and I remember telling my husband, I was like, who would want to run a tournament and have to do all of that work? And then, a year and a half later, there I am. Luckily with the software, but
that was crazy. We had the venue go print us out, a 40 or 42 player bracket. And, the players, we had already sent the text out. So I had to go through there and write the whole bracket down, and I ran it completely on paper. That was rough.
God. Yeah, but at least years later you can laugh about it, so that's a positive.
I hope I didn't.
Not as funny then, but I'm sure now. That. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And what's so good too is just about like everything that we've learned and taken into account, and just changes. And I think that's one thing is with this sport, it's so young that it's ever evolving, ever changing, always growing. We're always learning. And what I love about the ACL is we're not afraid to try something and then say that did not work, or maybe that was the best thing that we could have done. And I love that there's that ability, being a young company, being able to do that. And I think some really great stuff came out of it. The player engagement program I thought was really, really good, director engagement program. And then of course our biggest lesson was open standings. Bringing that back was incredibly important for this season, and just trying to be mindful, taking feedback.
I don't know if I've lost you or what.
Oh no, I can still hear you.
Are you still there?
I'm still there.
I couldn't. I didn't hear you. I think you were talking about the club engagement. Yeah. But I could not hear you. I lost you.
Oh, no worries. No, just saying, just with the the club engager, the director engagement program and player engagement program, just how all of that has kind of come over the years of running tournaments, getting feedback, and just really being able to find ways to give back into the community, but also make changes. And ACL changes a lot of things, and I think we're getting to that really good, comfortable part finally, and it seems like it's hitting that flow on where it needs to just stay. And I think we're in a good place. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, if we get to that spot where we can stay consistent, that will be great. Because the changes are, everybody knows the changes are rough. We fight through it. The wallet system, software, it's coming. Everybody's waiting to see how we're going to handle this new software. So
yes, the new app is going to be incredible. I'm super excited. I think directors are excited. It's all in one, so everything lives in one place, which is what everyone has asked for. So player side, director side, fan zone, all dumped into one. Everything. Really good spot. Yep. So it's good, and lots of progress is being made. And I actually said on the last director's table, but hopefully after this one, the teaser video is going to officially be out there somewhere in the world. So it's definitely coming, and just huge kudos, to the team, and even to Stacy, spending as much time, effort, and energy, just really making sure, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. Alicia, just she handles a big part of that communication in between it all, and just being able to listen to all of the directors, feedback from yourself and from so many, to just really make this the best that it can be. And I think it's going to be an incredible resource, and I can't wait. I want it in my hands right now.
Oh, I know. We all can't wait. So,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Is that still out? Is that coming in January, maybe? Or
yep, yep, it's on track. So we're super excited to hear everything is very much on track, and we'll get a lot of information. So for all the directors and the public, anyone who is watching this, it is coming. There is an amazing teaser that's going to be coming out very soon. And it's just it's a long time coming, and we're so excited, and the team has just worked incredibly hard, and just so grateful for the players and everyone, and just reminding everyone that it's everything is new. The company is still very young. We're still learning a lot. We're getting towards that bigger grand scheme of things. So there's lots of positives definitely in the future, and I think we're getting to a really good place where we can be comfortable and relax a little bit and really just dive into what we're doing. So
I think it's great.
Yeah, I agree. And do you have any kind of special shout outs or anything that you wanted to throw out there before we skedaddle along?
Not really. No, I'm going to stay away from that.
Oh, no. Not even the wife? No. Where is she at? Where is she?
She's on the way home from work. So can't get Angela in the picture. She's the brains behind the operation anyway. That's what everybody tells me.
Oh my God. She's incredible. Listen, behind everyone, there's always someone else helping them. We could never do this alone. That's for sure.
Oh no, I wouldn't be here without my wife. So I guess I could give her a big shout out.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for right there. Awesome. Well, thank you again so incredibly much for spending the time chatting with us and just letting some folks really know a little bit more about yourself and about your state. And we'll go ahead and head on off. But before we do, where can everybody find you? If they're looking to play cornhole, at one of your venues or locations, how do they get in touch, or how do they follow along?
Well, of course, it's Jeff Richburg, but on Facebook it's Central Mississippi Cornhole and Good Times. Out of Mississippi, we have a lot of players that travel through and have stopped by and played. So, a lot of people hit me up personally, or they can go to Central Mississippi Cornhole. So.
Perfect. There you have it. So you all know exactly where you need to go. Again, Jeff is the state director of Mississippi. Any questions, go to him first.
That's right.
But no, seriously though, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Again, you have been such a great resource to so many, and we just appreciate you 1,000 times more than anyone can realize. So thank you so much for everything, and enjoy your league night. I know you had to move it to tonight, so thank you for jumping on, and have fun tonight.
Yeah, they're showing up now, so.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Bye, everyone. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.